Are you looking to do deals and master flipping houses? Welcome to the DoDeals Show with our host, Mr. Tim Mai. As a successful investor and mentor to many real estate investors, Tim's students consistently run 6- and 7-figure investing businesses. Each week, you'll hear from top real estate investors who share the best strategies, systems, and secrets that you can use to be more successful. Tim and his guests will pull back the curtain for you to learn their exact tactics, tricks, and tools that are working best right now in today's real estate market. Now, let's welcome Mr. Tim Mai.
Well, hello everybody. Welcome to this interview. Today I have the man, the myth, the legend, Todd Hutcheson on the line with us. He owns ibuyhomes.com, which is a very, awesome domain name for our business. And he's owned this for 17 years now, right? So what's amazing about, this domain name, and he's going to teach us too about, how even as a new investor, how we can get a good website and get free leads from the internet, because majority of the deals that Todd does, it comes from, internet and free leads. So it's not something he has to pay for. So that's an amazing thing to be able to do that. Todd is out of the Orlando market. He does 3 to 4 deals a month. And he's also the president of the Central Florida Real Estate Investment Club, right? So Central CFRI.net is the website for the group there. So anyways, Todd, welcome, buddy. Thank you so much for doing this interview with me.
Thank you for having me. Enjoy it.
Awesome, great. So Todd, share with us. You got to bring us back to how you got this domain name.
Okay. I was a political consultant, and I bought an option on a sign shop where I bought all my campaign signs. And one day, a guy came in and said, "You've got to come to our real estate meeting. We're the guys who put out all the bandit signs on the side of the road." And I said, "Okay, I'll be there." And I went to the real estate meeting, and I fell in love with it. I couldn't sleep for days on end after the real estate meeting for 3 months in a row. And finally I said, I need to buy a domain. And I looked up on whois.net and saw ibuyhomes.com. Nobody was using it. And I wrote the guy a letter, and he called me back, and I bought .com, .net, and .org for $1,500. He let me put $500 down, $100 a month. And I paid it off in like the 3rd month, I think it was, after I did my first deal.
That's awesome. So
that is.
So what, we're talking about the year 2000. Internet wasn't a big thing yet. I mean, it was getting popular, but it wasn't like big like it is today. What made you think, I got to get me a website?
I guess just the marketer in me. I saw the potential in it. I saw the potential to not have to pay for leads, and I like that. My background was political consultant. I did direct mail for Disney. I did direct mail for Universal, Marriott Vacation Club. I did millions and millions of pieces of direct mail. So I was looking for an alternative that would be a cheaper lead source, basically.
That's awesome. Okay, so this website is pretty much, what launched your real estate business then. Is that correct?
Absolutely. Yes.
Okay. So back then, did you have to do the kind of search engine optimization that we have to do now to get it ranked?
No, back then it was crazy. When I first started, if you typed in sell Orlando home, I had 7 out of the top 10 rankings.
Wow.
Now it's difficult to get, 1 out of 5. And you used to be able to do what's called keyword stuffing and do all kind of crazy things that you get blackballed for doing now. So no, it was pretty easy to rank back then.
Gotcha.
Very easy.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, what I like a lot about your business, of course I like your domain name for sure, but you have a super simple business model. It's probably the most simplest wholesaling business model that I know, right? So share with us about that. How you get your deals, how you get your buyers, how you sell your deals.
Okay. So about 65% of my business is from the internet, free leads, I'm not paying for pay-per-click. About 25% of it is other investors through my RIA, and then about 10% of it is direct mail. But what I do a little bit differently than anybody else I've ever heard of is everybody's always saying, oh, I would have bought that deal. Oh, I would have bought that deal. And finally a light bulb went off and said, people would pay me to be on my list. So I picked 5 people that I liked, and I charge them $800 a year to get on my list. And the way it works is they're guaranteed a deal, and I take them with me to go see houses. If I go see it on a rotating basis, they make an offer right on the spot. So let's say they offer 70. Let's say I offer 66 to the homeowner. I know I can make $4,000 off the bat, and then I set a minimum of 70 and let them bid against each other, those 5. And if for some reason none of the 5 want that deal, then I send email that out to my list. But basically, I was making it so that it's less work on me, for one, because I've only got 5 phone calls to make, or 5 texts, 5 emails, and one of those is 99.9% of the time going to buy the deal.
Gotcha. So the one that went on the appointment with you is not necessarily an automatic person who gets the deal.
No, they have good. What they do get is they get extra time to do research. They can make it a more immediate offer to me, basically. But no, they're not guaranteed to get it.
Yeah, I like that, because at first when you first shared this with me, I'm like, would he be selling it, underpricing this? But with you having that bidding system between these 5 buyers, that helps that a lot.
Yes.
So okay, that's great. Yeah, and I love that model. I've never even heard anyone doing something like that. Yeah.
And the last 2 that I've done, interestingly enough, so when I had the homeowner, they were both owner occupied, and we did an inspection. So I had all 5 of them show up at the inspection, and we did a round robin auction right then and there. And I sold both of them for way more than I thought I was going to sell them for.
Wow, that's good.
Yeah. I thought I would sell one of them for $79,000. It sold for $102,000.
What?
Yes, it was crazy. They were bidding against each other. It was awesome.
Wow. And by now they all know each other too, right?
They already knew each other already.
Yeah, that's so cool. How did you arrive to that $800 a year number? That's like, what's the magic in that?
I don't know that there was any magic. I wanted to make it affordable enough and make it where it was worth my time, basically, and to keep bringing new people out from getting on the list, because I turned down people for sure, because people have asked me, and somebody offered me $5,000 to get on the list. Somebody offered me $10,000 to get all the deals, and I said no. So it was just a way to basically make a little bit extra money and cut down on my work, so I don't have to try so hard to sell them.
Right. You have I don't know where in your DNA this is, but you have a way of doing business that you keep things very simple for yourself. So first of all, before we started this interview, you shared with me you've done only 2 rehabs in the last 17 years, right?
Yes.
And
one of them I got guilted into, because I was out of vacation for the whole summer, and I sent my friend an email and said, go buy this, we'll do it together. I came back from vacation, and he wanted to rehab the house. Otherwise, I wouldn't have. So, yeah, 1 out of the 2, I was forced to do it, basically.
Right. Yeah. So so number 1, wholesaling is simple enough of a business already. You simplify it more with this automatic, free lead generation website on the acquisition side. And then you simplify it more, on the selling side, having 5, highly qualified, highly qualified buyers always ready to buy one of your deals. I just love that you did that. I mean, how did you even have that idea, or what is your background that have you think and process like that?
I don't know. I don't know how, honestly, other than maybe I was just trying to make it easier on myself. I wish I could tell you there was some grand plan to figure that out, but I think it was just hearing the phrase over and over again, why didn't you call me? Why didn't you call me? Why didn't you call me? Because basically whoever I was talking to at the time when I got the deal right under contract was the person lucky enough to buy it usually.
Right. That's really great. So let's now let's get into the talk about, like, if someone was to starting out their business brand new, and they want to duplicate your model, like every piece of it, right? The website, the buyers. Is it possible? Is your model duplicatable?
I think so. Right now, in most markets anyway, the hardest part is finding the deals. Mm-hmm. I think I could literally sell probably 10 deals a day. I'm not exaggerating.
Wow.
If I could find 10 deals a day in Orlando, I think I could sell that many. It's such a crazy market right now that people are paying way too much, so finding the deals is difficult. Where that's not the case, my site is ranked pretty good in both Detroit and Rochester, New York. There, it's easy to find the deals. It's harder to sell the deals. So I don't know which one I'd rather have. Is it duplicatable? No, because it's hard to have my website, but there are some things you can do if you don't have a website to try to make yourself more successful. And not many people know this, but you can go to GoDaddyAuctions.com, GoDaddy Auctions, and you can search by how old a website is that's expired. So it is 80% easier to rank a website that has had a We Buy Houses website on it previously. And in many cases, you can use tools like SpyFu and SEMrush and see how many links are going into that website. And you can only buy those websites that already have links pointing to them and have already had some rankings in the past. So that is what I recommend to people just starting out. But one big mistake that I tell people is don't buy JoeBuysHouses.com if you can't buy JoeBuysHomes.com. The words are completely interchangeable. And I know that because I'll walk up to somebody with my iBuyHomes.com shirt on, and they'll say I buy houses. So if you're starting out and you don't have a website, only buy a website if you have the word homes and houses in it, if you can get both. You don't have to have two separate websites. You have to own both domains and point one to the other.
Gotcha. Okay. So number one, it's not just the age of the domain name itself, right? But
that helps.
It helps. The age helps
dramatically.
Okay. And I hear that you're also looking for one that that someone has been running a We Buy Houses website with in the past, yes, and that have some backlinks to it.
Yeah. And one way I didn't say it, I forgot. You can go to archive.org, archive.org. Type the website in there, and it'll show you what websites were on there going back to 1998, I think. So you can actually see what was there, who was using it, the type of pages that they had on there. It's a great tool.
Gotcha. Okay. And okay, so then, like with GoDaddy auction, then once you find that one you like, then you just determine what you're willing to pay for it and then make that offer? Or is there a way to bid so that way you get the lowest that you can?
Most of the ones I buy are closeout domains, which means it's going to cost you $22.
Okay, what is a closeout domain?
It means that the domain is expired, they didn't renew it, and nobody back ordered it. so that it goes into an open auction on GoDaddy auction. I also use namejet.com. They have a different system, and their minimum is $69.
Okay, so a domain name that's already expired, and nobody renew it and nobody back order it. So there's not other people bidding against you on those?
Sometimes there is, but usually no.
Huh.
Yeah, it's cool. I just bought Thomas Buys Homes and ThomasBuysHouses.com. Another thing I do is I look by people's names and I buys houses, and I buy those domains. Both of those had expired, and I bought them without any auction. They were just available. But both of them previously had websites on them, so it should be easier for me to rank them. But I'll probably just sell the domains.
Right, to someone who's
somebody named Thomas.
Yeah. Okay. I actually know someone. He's a pretty big time investor. His name is Tom. That you can sell that to, I'm sure.
Okay. You'll have to send them a link to this interview.
Yeah, they buy like over 300 deals a year, so they also do a lot of wholesaling. All right, cool. So okay, so buy older domain names, and then where should someone go, or should they hire out? Either go learn or hire out to do all the search engine optimization stuff to get it to rank?
It's not going to be an easy process. I don't want to mislead anybody. To get a site ranked is probably going to take at least 6 to 8 months.
Okay.
Minimum. You'd have to be in a market. If you were trying to get Timbuktu, Iowa, you could probably get it ranked. But if you're in any city of any major size, getting it ranked is going to be very, very difficult. There's on-page factors and then off-page factors. The on-page factors are what words are used on the website. The off-page factors is what's harder to control, and what takes the time is getting links from other real estate websites pointed to your domain helps Google get you ranked. And that's the difficult, if not really difficult, time-consuming part of trying to get something ranked. You're either going to pay somebody a lot of money, or it's going to take a while for you to do it the right way.
Okay, gotcha. Are there any kind of shortcut strategy? Because I've heard about doing YouTube videos as one of the ways to get them ranked faster. Are there any other strategies that can get us ranked faster?
As far as YouTube videos, I'm not a big time expert on that, but basically, whatever search term you're looking for, if you put it in there and there's not a YouTube video on the first page, then you have a decent chance of getting the video ranked on the first page if you optimize the video as well. One thing that's cool about YouTube videos and the description, those are active links that you can click on and take you directly to the website in the description. So you always want to put your website in your description. Actually, one of the things I do, believe it or not, is I'll give you an example. I look for people that are no longer in the business that have a video that's ranked. And I go by that website and point it to mine and create a page for whatever city they were in. So, for instance, one of the markets I deal in is Port St. Lucie, and the YouTube video was ranked number 4, and the website was Sell House Fast PSL, and they let it expire, and I bought it for $8 and pointed it to my website.
Okay.
Excuse me, my phone's going off.
So you just bought the domain name point to your website, but you didn't do anything with the video. You didn't try to buy the video account from them or anything.
Yeah, I do not. I don't think you can do that.
Okay.
If you can do it, I don't know how.
Right. Okay. That's an interesting strategy. That's good. Okay. So if I have, sometimes I have these old domain names that I don't use for anything, and I'm like, I have no use for this. So I just let them, expire and not renew them. Is there a good way to sell them for more money?
If they've had websites on them, they have some value. Otherwise, depending on how many words they have in it, they may or may not have much value. Namejet.com, GoDaddy Auctions, and there's one other site you can sell. What's it called? There's one other site that you can sell domains on, but normally they want revenue, and your sites aren't going to have any revenue typically. So there are valuation tools you can put in to see how. I haven't found those to be accurate, especially for our business. Like if you put iBuyHomes.com, it says it's worth about $2,000, and so don't go by what the online valuation tools say a website is worth. It they're just not accurate.
Gotcha. All right.
Sort of like Zillow.
Yes. All right, great. So now let's switch over to the buyer side. So how can someone build that, that Fave 5 buyers list? That's what you should brand that, Fave 5s. The Fave 5 buyers list. If they're new, how can they best determine who those 5 should be? And then how do they approach them to do this model where they pay $800 a year kind of thing to be on the, get top priority on these deals?
Well, if you have a RIA in your town, I think you should join your Real Estate Investing Association and see who's there over and over again. Ask people. You can ask title companies. Sometimes they will tell you who the major players are. I once had to wholesale something on July 4th weekend, and from a town that was not where I had a buyer's list, and I started calling title companies, and I said, look, who's your best buyer? I've got a killer deal. Send them to me. And within 2 days, I had 4 people fighting over the deal because I called every title company in that town and asked for their best customer, because they're going to tell us normally because they want to, to get more business.
Right.
So that's one way. I think title companies is a great way to find who the major players are. Your RIA. I think the best way to find buyers is bandit signs. Cheap home, a price and your phone number, and your phone number will ring off the hook. Then you just have to interview them to determine how many deals they've done. Ask them for references, ask them for a proof of funds. Now I don't ask any of that, but I would if I was a beginner. I would be asking them for proof of funds and references. Bandit signs are a phenomenal way to build your buyers list.
That's awesome. Now, what about, flippers versus landlords? Who to go after, or both?
I think you have to have a good combination of both in order to be successful as a wholesaler. For landlords, depending on your city, a great resource that not many people know is it's public record who the Section 8 landlords are. You go make a public records request at your local Section 8 office, and they're required to give that information to you.
Do they give full contact info?
Yeah, absolutely.
Nice. I love that. I normally go to gosection8.com, but a lot of time I get the property managers and not the owners themselves.
Right.
I love that. Okay.
And some of them will give you a hard time, and that may not be the case in every state, but most states that have open records laws, that is the case. You can get that information. Now, the secretary may not know. You may have to ask for a superior that answers the phone, but you will be able to get the information eventually. And those are your hardcore landlords, typically.
Yeah. That's really good. Okay. Do you know what department within, or do you just contact the public record department to ask for this, or is there any specific department within the city or the county to ask for?
you're going directly to the Section 8 office.
Section 8 office. Okay, gotcha.
For instance, here in Florida, most of the counties have their own Section 8 office, and some of the cities do as well. So it depends on if it's a county level Section 8 office or a city level Section 8 office.
Gotcha. Okay, that's good. I like that. All right, cool. I love doing these interviews. I get to learn things that there's no way I can learn this stuff anywhere else.
Right.
And a lot of time it just flow out of a conversation like this. I mean, this one tip I just learned from you alone is gonna make me good money.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, because I do wholesale to landlords a lot. They're my favorite buyers. Because
right.
they're good buyers. So okay, cool.
The other tip for that, for instance, the best way to find the big time landlords is to buy your county's entire database and do what's called a dedupe. So you're searching for anybody that owns more than 2 go to the same address,
right?
And then you can just sort them by how many they own, and that's eye-opening.
Yeah.
Eye-opening. Does that make sense what I said?
Yeah, it does. Yeah, so get the county property records.
Yeah.
And here in Harris County, we actually get them for free, so it's a pretty cool thing. And then so like you said, do the dedupe thing to count how many properties they have, right?
Correct.
You
sort on the address. Depends on how big your property is, whether it's easy to do in Excel or not. You might have to hire somebody on Fiverr, to do that for you. But just tell you where the mailing address is equals more than 3 or 4 or 5 or whatever you want. So you want to make sure that they're a serious buyer, and then you send them a postcard.
Gotcha. Yeah. That's awesome. I did that one time, and I got this landlord. He's hilarious. But he wanted like so expensive for the house. I was looking for landlords that I can buy properties from.
Right.
And he's like, yeah, well, I sell you all my houses, but he wanted like crazy money.
Yeah.
Old cowboy guy. But that's great tip. So any other, we're gonna wrap up this interview here soon. Any other tip you have for everyone listening, especially the newer investors, how to have the simplified, easy wholesaling business that like you have?
I'd say one thing that makes it easy for me is I use a really simple contract. My contract, I think I was telling you, is 3/4 of a page long. I can fill it out in 30 seconds. So I'm not spending, like our flower bar contract, the Board of Realtors contract is 17 pages long.
Yeah.
One, sellers don't want to read that whole contract. They don't know a whole lot of words in it. My goal in using my little short contract is for them not to take the contract to a lawyer or to a realtor. So there's no words in there that an average citizen that's never bought or sold a house before doesn't know. So it's really, really simplistic, and more than anything, I can do it with lightning speed, because when you're dealing with internet leads especially, I think the first person that responds and gets them to the contract wins about 70% of the time. So whoever gets them the contract the fastest has a distinct advantage, no question about it. And so I like to make my contract as simple as possible. Now, one of the drawbacks to that is that I'm going to let them out of the contract. My contract doesn't have all the verbiage in it that protects everybody on both sides like a realtor contract does, that talks about specific performance and what happens in certain circumstances. I am going to let them out of the contract because my contract's so simple that I probably wouldn't win in court if it went to that.
Gotcha. Okay.
But I think that's a big thing, is the simplicity of the contract, because it gives you an advantage for speed, and it gives you an advantage that the seller doesn't have to take it to a lawyer or a realtor. I think that's a big deal.
That makes sense. That makes a lot of sense. That's awesome. All right, Todd. By now, I'm sure the listeners, would love to connect with you, learn from you, maybe do some deals with you, where would you like to send them?
You can go to ibuyhomes.com and there's a contact us page there, or you can email me at Todd, Todd, at ibuyhomes.com.
Awesome.
And I love talking real estate. And if you come to Orlando, call me and we'll go have a beer for sure. I'll talk about real estate, till the end of the night for sure. One other cool thing is, if you want to come to Orlando, make sure you plan it around the first Wednesday of the month. That's when our RIA meeting is. You can come to the RIA meeting right off your trip to Orlando.
Right. So go to the RIA on Wednesday, and then Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, go to Disney World.
You're at Disney World.
That's awesome. Well, Todd, thank you so much for this really awesome interview today. I appreciate everything you've shared, and I've learned a ton from you today.
You're welcome. Have a great day.
Awesome. All right, everybody. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you've gotten as much value as I have out of this interview, make sure you share this with your friends, rate us, give us feedback. And with that, happy investing, and we'll see you on the next interview. All right. Bye, everyone.
And that's our show for today. If you have any questions or would like to get further training from Tim Mai, please visit our website at www.dodeals.com/Tim.